This episode is sponsored by Dice Dungeons. Check out their character coin Kickstarter in the description below. Hello everybody, Jordan here, the PH is silent. I was expecting to be done with Warlocks and their patrons, but a few people reminded me of Xanathar's Guide, Warlocks, and other patrons in 5e, so I'm going to do a catch-all video for the rest of the Warlock subclasses. If this is your first time to these Warlock videos, click the link in the upper corner or in the description to be taken to my other ones. I've covered the Archfey, Fiends, and the Great Old Ones as Warlock patrons. Let's get started. Just like making a pact with creatures of the lower planes, Warlocks can make pacts with creatures from the upper planes. Solars, which are angels in D&D, Kirins, which are the lawful good beasts that hang out in the celestial planes, or even a unicorn could become a Warlock patron, and let's be honest, that's pretty badass. Solars stand about 9 feet tall. They are powerful beings of good with a strong commanding voice. They are the most powerful of the angelic beings and often serve as the direct hand to divine beings of the upper planes. They seek to spread the influence of their god throughout the D&D universe. Many devils were once angels that were corrupted during the war with the demons. Since devils can become patrons, it fits that Solars could as well. Although most would be fine with you worshipping their divine god as they do, perhaps a rogue Solar is out to solve the problems his deity isn't looking at by giving some power to a lowly mortal to influence the world for good. It is said that only 24 Solars exist. Few are known, and I couldn't find any named Solars from Forgotten Realms to offer, except Viren, who is a Solar of Tyr. They carry mighty weapons, swords, and greatswords. It may be a great fit for a Pact of the Blade Warlock to summon the blade their Solar patron uses. It's a great blank canvas to create your own celestial being and their motivations for your character. Work something really cool with your DM and tell me about it in the comments below. Speaking of Pact of the Blade, let's chat about the Hexblade next. You made a pact with a mysterious entity from the Shadowfell or a sentient weapon that can bestow power to you. First off, the Raven Queen is mentioned here as a Hexblade Warlock patron. I've done a video on her, so be sure to check it out for further information. She's not quite a god and fits well as a patron, but she's not a Great Old One, a Fiend, or an Archfey, which is why the Hexblade is a better fit. Not only the Raven Queen, but other Shadowfell power could make a Hexblade Warlock. Perhaps you've made a pact with an unknown entity that draws its power from the Shadow Weave, granting you spells from this otherworldly dark magic. A Shadowfell hag, perhaps? It's not common, but I like the idea of a Pact of the Tome Hexblade Warlock, filling your spellbook with dark rituals from the Shadowfell. Another option is to make a binding pact with a sentient and ancient magical weapon. The trident named Wave, the warhammer named Whelm, and the sword named Blackrazor. Wave communicates telepathically with its wielder and wishes for them to worship one or more sea gods. Umbrally, Istitia, or Deep Seychelles would work. Wave, lost in the ocean, calls out to you, providing you magic in exchange for worshipping Istitia. Your driving goal is to reclaim Wave and convert as many people to Istitia's calling. Whelm is a dwarven hammer. It would work out perfectly as a relic in a dwarven armory. You are a young dwarf that picked up Whelm, and instantly it instilled you with power. Unable to remove it from the armory, the king would obviously know, Whelm sends you on a quest to slaughter giants. Finally, Blackrazor's purpose is to consume souls. You agree to bring the sword fresh souls in order to sustain your power, but you're smart enough never to wield Blackrazor itself for fear of it devouring your soul. However, if none of those strike your fancy, there are rules in the Dungeon Master's Guide to create a sentient weapon. Maybe it's so powerful only level 12 characters can hold it safely. In that regard, your sword or bow or dagger grants you, the Warlock, powers to increase your prowess in battle to one day be worthy enough to wield this mighty weapon. I'd like to thank Dice Dungeons for sponsoring this video. They make great products. If you're interested in dice, cloth battle maps, and other items, visit their website. Right now they have a Kickstarter going on for character coins, battle grid sized 1-inch coins that can represent PCs and NPCs in your game. They are reversible with a broken shield or a torn magic book that represents a fallen character. Right now the Kickstarter is funded, so you are guaranteed to get your coins, but they have plenty of stretch goals, including skeleton and zombie coins, so check out Dice Dungeons Kickstarter today for some sweet coins, great for both players and dungeon masters. Another possible patron for your Warlock is an undead power. Larlock the Shadow King is a solid choice. Really, any Lich could be a Warlock patron for the Undying. A powerful undead entity that is chained in a tomb or crypt. They seek to influence the outside world and bestow great power upon you. You're changed by this. Soon death holds no sway over you, much like your patron. Vecna is an obvious choice for the Undying Warlock. From the Greyhawk setting, Vecna has become a deity, and perhaps you are a follower of Vecna, and this is the power bestowed upon you. Or you found the book Vecna used to become a lich. Attempting the process yourself, you've now stolen some of Vecna's power. Will Vecna come looking for you? Create your own imprisoned lich and make a pact with them. A lich will need souls to fill their phylactery. They'll want information and knowledge of the region. They'll want powerful enemies taken care of, but won't necessarily want to get their own hands dirty. Or perhaps a long-dead god. Its power lingers in its corpse floating in the astral sea. Your PC has found a way to get in tune with this power. Although filled with power, it somehow leaves you empty. When your warlock dies, has he forfeited his place within the afterlife? Has the dead god bound him to float eternally in the astral sea as well? Wizards of the Coast has given 5th edition D&D a robust patron list for warlocks. At this point, I feel you could probably make a pact with any powerful entity you find and somehow make it work within the 5e rule set. So pick a patron, pick the Lord of Skeletons and have him grant you power as an Undying Warlock. Pick up that magical ring and use its power to fight off evil before it consumes you and you have to take it to Mordor. Thanks for watching, everyone. Special thanks to my patrons on Patreon that keep these videos going. Like, subscribe, and share these videos with your gaming group. I will see you all next week. Thanks again.